My recovery story after I found out my wife was having an affair with my best friend, college roommate. I caught them in the act. New to Reddit and I stumbled with this subreddit. After reading your stories, it brought back all the heartache and anger that I went through at the end of my marriage. So, I thought to write my story to give a glimmer of hope to you and to show you that everything turns out good at the end. I am 55 years old, my ex-wife is 50 years old. Married for 23 years, together for 25 years. So, a little background, I am from Alberta, Canada, farm boy, born and raised at my parents' dairy farm. I moved to Ontario to go university and got a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering. After graduating, I went back to Alberta and started working in the oil patch and automation of big oil processing facilities and oil and gas drilling. Made good money, bought a house in the city. A coworker introduced me to my ex-wife. She is an accountant working at a big retail company in the finance department. We clicked immediately and started dating, lived together for 2 years and married. During our time in Alberta we had 2 kids, boys, 19 months apart from each other. Around year 5 of our marriage she got a promotion that required to move to the HQ office in Ontario. So, I resigned to my job and we moved to Ontario. Rented and kept my house, and bought a new house with my ex-wife there. Found a new job in automation of manufacturing facilities. She quickly rose through the ranks in the company she works for and now she is a high-level manager in this company. We both make very good money and have a very good lifestyle, frequent family vacations, new cars very often, and paid our house loan very fast, so basically no debt. We had a very social life, we knew a lot of people there, from our university days and from her childhood. In 2016, is where everything went to crap. I got laid off my job, got diagnosed with diabetes, type 1, and got home early one day after running some errands to find out that my wife is having an affair with my best friend, college roommate. I caught them in the act. He was in our friend circle, he is tall and handsome, divorced for cheating, you know the player type. She begged and said the usual stuff that they all say. That she loves me, that it was a mistake, that we can solve this and our marriage is the most important thing to her. Blah, blah, blah. I didn't want to reconcile, couldn't think of myself being a prison guard following her everywhere and looking for ghosts around my relationship. I do know my value, so I kicked her out of the house and started divorce proceedings. Called the kids that were at university at that time and told them what their mother did. This put a lot of strain in their relationship, which she claimed that was unnecessary and petty from my part. Called my so-called friends to tell them what happened and most of them knew. One even told me that this affair has been going on for 3 years. I was oblivious, maybe because I was naive and trusted completely my then wife. After knowing this I went no contact with my ex, every communication came through my lawyer. I cut them all out of my life, never spoke to them again. I got depressed, had rage issues, did not sleep, did not eat during that time. Was the worst pain I ever been in my life. Never want to go through that again. I sometimes still have nightmares about it. One day I realized that I could not keep being sorry for myself and start looking how to keep my mind occupied. Started jogging and exercising, started cooking as a hobby, started to learn how to play guitar. Anything to keep my mind of remembering all the crap that I've been put through. Playing guitar was one of the things that helped me a lot, is very hard to master, takes a lot of practice and took a bunch of hours of the day that I would otherwise spend wallowing. One of the first songs I learned is The Sound of by Jan Arden. It is a song about recovery and I truly recommend it. Another thing that helped was buying a puppy dog, a Rottweiler, the breed that we used to have at the farm. My ex hates animals, so we didn't have one. Taking care of the puppy also allowed me to take things off my mind and having it being dependent of me gave me a reason to keep going. During the divorce, we sold the house and split the equity, split the money in the savings account. RSPs, retirement, didn't need to be divided since we both had the same amount saved, and after the divorce I moved back to Alberta since I had a house here and started my consultant business and I am doing very well, even in this recession. Sold my house and bought one in Canmore at the foot of the Rockies and have the woods as my backyard. I'm not very good at social media, never cared for it, I do not even have a Facebook profile, so not following my ex-wife was very easy, nor did I want to know what she was doing. In 2018, I went back to Ontario for my son's graduation and I met my ex there. She asked since I was there visiting if we could grab a cup of coffee someday and catch up. I just told her that in hell I would be in better company and then went to ignore her for the rest of the ceremony. Both of my sons moved here to Alberta and they live 40 minutes away from me. This had to be a shock to my ex, since Ontario is 4 hours away by plane and like 36 hours away by car, and that makes it very difficult for her to come and visit the kids. Not everything is great as it sounds. I haven't been able to be in a relationship again. I have trust issues and decided that it isn't fair to my partner, so I stopped dating altogether. I am alone but I don't feel lonely. I am very happy with my life even if I don't have anybody to share it with. For all of you in this sub, my heart goes to you and what you are going through, but I can testify that it gets better, and even if you end up being alone like me, is way better than living with the cheater and the ghost of their infidelity. Thank you. This brought tears to my eyes. I am 3 months out from finding out my entire marriage was a sham. Every day is a new adventure, but I also have come to a conclusion that I don't think I female, 47, ever want to date again. I can be happy alone and I don't want to burden another human with the trust issues my ex gave me as a parting gift. I have also disconnected from all our mutual friends and acquaintances, but I couldn't bring myself to question if they knew what was going on or to blow up his world because he was very charming and not many people outside of my immediate family believe he really was involved with so many women throughout the 8 years we were together. Sincerely, thank you for sharing your story. It makes me feel less alone. And I got the dog, which means I got the only good thing that came out of our union, so I win. Your story is a lot like mine. I hope you are okay. God bless you, sir. It's hard to believe that your ex was able to achieve so much in her business career without ever understanding that choices have consequences. I understand your position, but I hope that you'll begin dating people who can appreciate your trust issues and not pressure you to commit. Your ex is a fool and her AP is walking feces. I have no words to describe or define your friends who stood by silently for 3 years knowing what your ex was doing. They're as complicit in this betrayal as the two liars. Best of luck to you. I mean, if you know a friend is a cheater, do you really want to be friends with him? My wife cheated on me because she felt like she was just a mom and the spark was gone. Then, she apologized for hurting me. She'd been cheated on before, so she knew damn well what I was going through. Sorry for any crap mobile formatting. I'm feeling so conflicted and broken right now. Found out a few days ago that my suspicions were correct and she had cheated on me. For some backstory, we're not married but have been together 8 years. We've got 3 kids. Things have been bad this year. We've been stuck at home 24/7 working and living together due to the pandemic. If I'm honest, we stopped communicating properly and we stopped making time for each other. I think we'd even grown resentful of each other. We both knew we were in a bad place and we had talked about ending things but agreed to keep trying. The red flags started the last few weeks. She had been so cold and distant with me, no affection, barely wanting to speak. To the point of being hostile and angry towards me. Constantly on her phone, always in her hand. Screen flipped over or locked when I came close. Shopping trips for hours with not much shopping coming home. I took her phone when I had an opportunity, and went through everything. Hardest damn hour of my life seeing those messages, but it was all there, everything I had feared I would find. She came into the room later, first with the anger of violating her privacy and stormed out, then came back with the realization I knew everything. We talked for a long time. She said it had started as genuine conversation, then some flirting and then them meeting up to talk, and then finally says she didn't feel like I loved her or wanted her anymore. She was just a mom and the spark had gone. She apologized for hurting me. She'd been cheated on before, so knew damn well what I was going through. I was broken. I knew things were bad but never expected this. The worst thing is I still have feelings for her. When she was crying down the phone after I left, which I know was just guilt and regret, all I wanted to do was hold her and comfort her. I feel so stupid and weak. I keep acknowledging my failures in our relationship, and I know deep down this infidelity is on her completely and I shouldn't feel guilty for anything, but it keeps going through my mind. I know it can't work going forward. I will never trust her again, and that doubt and paranoia would always be there eating away at me. But at the same time I keep thinking, what if we could make it work? Keep the stability for the kids. I still have feelings for her and want her, but also hate her for what she has done. If we part, I also know I'm afraid of not seeing our kids every day and starting life again without her. She was my everything. But the last month she showed her true colors by treating me like crap when I believed we could fix things, and then committing the ultimate betrayal. I've never felt so sick in my life. I can barely eat, barely sleep. I feel so numb and empty right now. Does this pain ever go away? Brother, here is what you need to do. Gather all the evidence in her telephone, social media accounts, and her laptop. Get a lawyer and do not tell her anything. Ghost her and tell her family and friends, and then ghost them. You will be inundated by them and try to convince you to forgive her. You will also need this information for the courts to establish alienation of affection. Get your own bank account as well. Kick her out of the house because you need this time to yourself and you are too angry to have her on your space. Brother, the men and women Redditors got your back. Just ask and we shall assist. Whether alienation of affection comes into play is a matter of where the OP lives. The evidence could also play a role in determining custody, but that once again depends upon the law where he lives. OP, you need to consult a lawyer and tell them what you know and how. Yep, I'm in a no-fault state. Doesn't matter that it was my wife who cheated, the court doesn't care. I still lose half the time with my kids. I know a guy that knows a guy, just saying LOL. Sadly, you are not alone. You are going through a terrible time, and this won't sound very likely at this stage in your trauma, but I promise it will eventually get better. The constant pain, sorrow, dread and whatever will subside, and you will find a new normal. I never believed them when people told me, when they reassured me, it gets better. I felt my case was different and my particular situation more hurtful than anyone else's. But my friend, it's all too common, and we are here for you, even if only through words. Come here as often as you need. When words escape you and you just want to rant and babble, we understand. This is it, right here. Worldwide comments of the day. First, I hope he learned how to keep his mouth shut. They're called secrets for a reason. The reason is not hurting lots of people with the truth. For as much as someone would think they deserve the truth, do they deserve the hurt it causes? Learn to keep quiet. It is better to be considered an idiot than to speak out and remove any doubts. Second story. VAR is a must and a cam in house. See how she likes living with kid and his mother. She needs a psychiatrist, but file on her and she will realize how bad she ducked up. Then she will wake up. Notice how he called the cheating an act, unlike how women always call cheating a mistake. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more interesting and relatable Reddit videos.